Off to the next segment. Last part of why I should be single. Past relationships. Let's see what points I brought up in this one.
Please don't let it be about me.
I mean, you probably were brought up, but we'll see.
Okay, the last video of the series, hopefully, unless I make the subsection of the last one I just talked about. So,
gosh, I still love your eyes.
Past girlfriends or past relationships. This shouldn't be too long because I've already kind of talked about my exes and why I prefer to be single series.
It's still being like
so
almost 12
I'm just
minutes.
Kind of summarize everything as quickly as I can, but then again, the video's probably still like 10 minutes just because I just like the idea of having at least 10 minutes worth of content so you don't feel like you sat there for 5 seconds for nothing. And also, I feel like I'm funnier in 10 minutes than I am in 5, but I could be completely wrong about that. I have no idea. So, to the video at hand. So, past relationships. Just to kind of go through a quick summation of them all, just kind of
a slight tangent. It's funny how I say that I like my videos long, but now I try to keep all my update videos as close to 5 minutes as possible. Number one, because I feel like no one cares about an update, and two, because it feels like that's the day and age we live in with all the YouTube shorts and everything. That reels were like short clips and things like is the end thing. Like people want to see, like they want to watch like an hour worth of 1 minute clips than 1 hour video. It's funny how that's the reality we live in sometimes.
How they start and why they ended. Since I figured that's the only thing that really matters. In middle school, that relationship started because of an outside person, as in her friend, is the reason me and her got together. But there was no commonality, no interest between me and her prior to getting together, and no prior or any interest after we got together. So I didn't care about the relationship. Plus, at the time, I still had very little faith in relationships due to my parents' divorce. So I didn't care. So that ended very quickly in like less than an hour. Second relationship, that was in high school. So basically, it was a misunderstanding between me and this chick who, she asked me a question I was not expecting.
I used to call me this chick all the time.
Would I date her? And I didn't think she was literally asking, so I was a little bit thrown off by this. I was like, no girls ever asked me this. I don't know how to feel. Don't know how to respond. So, but apparently she was serious and she thought I rejected her. So later on, I said as a joke when she said she saw me someday rich, married to some white girl, I was like, not necessarily true. I mean, if you gave me a second chance, I would date you. What she took as me literally asking her out. Which
that's the first time I ever actually edited. Look.
If you gave me a second chance, I would date you. What she took as me literally.
Oh, no, wait.
Like, not necessarily true. I mean, if you gave me a second chance, I would date you.
It's the first time I actually edited one of these.
But after
outside of, the edit for the
not kissing, not hanging
single
out,
taking
basically very little to no interaction. Even with me asking her to let me know when she had time so I can maybe set up a date. Never did that, so I was like, well, this is a pointless relationship. I'm surprised you haven't just said, Devin, are we really dating? Which I wanted to ask, which I almost kind of wanted to say to her, like, was our relationship real? But every time I try to message her, she never responds. I may, hopefully if I remember and feel like it, I will put examples.
Yeah, this is an example of me, us communicating. Because I said, hey, she said hi. I said, how are you? She said, great, you. I said, I'm good, just chillaxing, kind of bored, trying to figure out what to do. Obviously, she responded later on about an hour later, says, you'll be fine. I said, I suppose. I like your profile pic, by the way. Says, thanks. I don't know what I said. Response. Probably said, you're welcome. And then another day where obviously I censored her name. I said, hey, how you been? No response. And I messaged like, let's see, it looks like it was October. Then I messaged again the next year in May. Oh, shit, this is on Instagram. I responded to her Instagram story. I said, no arguments here. She actually hearted it.
Sorry, my grandmother sent me a message. I can never skip out on her. Oh, baby girl got her litter. Okay. By the way, I have a daughter. No, she's not human. She's a fur child. I look forward to having a human child sometime in the future.
I guess we'll start the video. Alright, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
We had a slight intermission. It's fine.
Here we go.
Right here. About what I'm talking about.
Oh, wow, that went fast. Hold on.
I just said that like I made it for nothing.
I mean, I already explained that part.
Oh.
It's only the next part of this.
Okay.
Or, I guess, so some of them said no problem. And then I messaged in June 3rd. As you can see, I said, hey. responded with hello the next day. Then I responded same day around 1. I said, how you been? No response. And I messaged again in December. I said, hey. She responded 3 hours later. I said, hi. I said, how you been? See, it wasn't.
If I don't,
The point was,
I just sit there like an idiot for nothing. But anyway,
point was,
hopefully
it was
future
no reason really
okay,
trying to.
I'll edit this and put that in there. But if I don't,
I like how I said, don't ask anything
then
else from
after
me.
her, there was a girl that my best
Future
friend told me I
editing.
should pursue, which was pointless. But I pursued as requested, and that's technically the first one I consciously asked out, you can say. No, technically it's the second one I consciously asked out, because he told me to ask out a crush of mine, which I already knew her answer was no, but just to get him to shut up, I did it. But yeah,
I'm not
after
afraid of
pursuing
rejection.
her, then that was a pointless relationship, because after a very short period of time, I realized, wow, we were not compatible at all romantically. Like, this is a no-no. And it's funny because my best
I was terrified you were gonna reject me. That's why. That's why I was like, yes, we can start now. I was terrified you were gonna say no and reject me, and I don't handle rejection very well.
Wow.
best friend, he was like, y'all should break up for a weekend for I can, hook up with her, do stuff
Ew.
or whatever. And I was like, oh, if you're patient enough, trust me, she'll dump me. I feel it in my soul. Like, she's not saying. And I felt a little bad because me being me, I didn't want it to end, but at the same time, I didn't really want to keep it going. So I'm over here trying to keep it going, but at the same time, part of me is like, oh, I want this relationship to end so badly.
Because I can't dump someone.
And it became very apparent when she wanted to break up with me, so I was pressuring her to break up with me without actually saying it. It's like, if you have bad news, say it. If you have bad news, say it. If you have bad
Oof.
news, freaking say it, lady. It was funny because I was at I don't think I mentioned this in my preferred single segment, but I was in a club called Beta Club, and we was off this little convention thing in Atlanta.
I remember.
And at the end of the little competition, academic competition thing, we had like a little fun little dance night thing. And me being me, I was like, if I'm single, I can dance with any females I want. Granted, that was my intention, but this is just in case. I don't want to be caught cheating. Like, I've seen way too many movies and TV shows. People caught record, put it on YouTube or Snapchat or whatever type of social media and Facebook, and she sees and it's like, oh, so you cheated on me. It's like, no. I was dancing. It was innocent. I didn't want to get caught like that. So, and since I already knew she wanted to break up with me, I was like, if you have bad news, say it. If you have bad news, say it. I'm over here texting her this like multiple times. If you have bad news, say it. If I can find the text, I will show it because it's on my old phone.
And don't mention something without confirming you have it. I couldn't find it.
And then she eventually was like, yeah, I want to break up. I was like, okay, that's fine. Yay, I'm off the freaking hook. Of course, nothing happened that night. I did happen to get a female's number, not by my own fruition. A friend of mine got me her number, a different female number, but nothing happened between me and that female either. So,
And why bring it up if it doesn't matter?
but yeah, so I felt good. It was like, thank God, I'm free at last. And then after that, I ended up with another relationship where the girl asked me out, and the reason things ended there, in my opinion, is because she is a bit of a sex addict. Maybe not as much as she used to be, but I do know she has admitted and told me how much she enjoys having sex. So, and me being, I said I prefer to wait till marriage before sex. And even if I did give it up early, I would prefer to be in love. Just saying.
Yeah.
So that was not happening. And so she dumped me. That way she can go have sex with whomever she wants without cheating, which I appreciate 100%. Then after her, I ended up dating, we'll just call her Darling for the sake of the video. Which I may make a subset.
What?
Which I never did.
Because that was my longest relationship and the only one I honestly had full-on intentions on marrying. So, but unfortunately, even though things started between me and her, it basically started with us having mutual friends, hanging out. I was pointing out how she was being the prime example of a good, quiet, innocent human being, because another friend of ours was being a bit irrational and loud. And then for whatever reason, us spending, I guess, being in each other's inner circle or having mutual friends, she finally decided to talk to me. And I like to call it interviewing me for the position of her boyfriend.
You did record about it.
And we ended up together. And then after, when we had 39 days away from the 2-year mark. So close to 2 years.
So freaking close.
So, for I'll call that a religious misunderstanding. That's what I'm gonna call it. So we ended up
Basically.
breaking up too. And after that, I was like, well, see, this is the way my life is supposed to be. I'm supposed to be single. And then in college, that changed once again. I ended up in a relationship with a girl who didn't have much time for me, which it was funny because I asked for her number, pursuing it for friendship. Honestly, this is 100% honest. Yes, I thought she was cute. Yes, I thought she was awesome, but I was not looking for a relationship. But then she asks, "So what are we?" I'm like, "Chick, we've done one project together in this class. I asked for your number once. This is like our first or second. I think this was our first freaking texting conversation." And she's like, "What are we?" I'm like, I was pursuing a friendship, but if you want to date, we can. And then
I'm pretty sure those were my exact words in the text too.
that was not the
And she-
what I was expecting.
Yeah, she actually said, "Yeah,
okay.
let's date."
I was expecting you to be like, "Oh, okay."
So she thought on the first few hours of knowing each other, what are we?
No, like I said, we worked on a school project together, so we were already interacting with one another. And it was just, that was like, after I got her phone number after the project, I was like, okay, you seem like a cool person. I got her phone number, and then I texted her, and then like literally after I said maybe, hey, how are you, or something like that, in the mix of that first text conversation, after we had finished the project and talked for a bit in the classroom, she asked, what are we?
Acquaintances to friends. That's where y'all are at right then.
Like I said, I did not know that her mind went to that place, but also I was her first boyfriend. So like it's kind of like your situations with you're like awkward with men sometimes. Like she had no boyfriends prior to me at that time. She did not, and as far as I know, no guys ever asked for her number prior to that time. Like I was the first guy that's given her this level of attention, as far as I know, because I can't remember what she told me about her lifestyle. I think one say she went to an all girls school or she just didn't spend a lot of time with guys growing up. Outside of her family, whatever. I think if I recall correctly. So this was like unknown territory. So like her knowledge of relationships were probably things she's seen from movies, TV shows, and maybe her friends and family.
Right.
So she didn't know. So she just wanted to clarify for herself, like, what's going on here?
Fair. Still crazy to me, but fair.
Yeah, we could be friends, but that's not what happened. Like, okay. Don't know what in your head said, this guy seems pretty cool, why not date him? But anyway, so the reason we ended up breaking up, mainly I say it's because of me. She didn't have a lot of time for me, and me being me, I was like, do you even have time for a boyfriend? I asked her this after like a few months of being together. I just asked her that randomly, like, do you even have time for being in a relationship or for a boyfriend? And she's like, yeah, that's a good question. Let me get back to you on that. And then like maybe an hour later, she texted me, yeah, we should break up. I was like, I'm just slick like that.
I like that. It's like, I love how I call myself slick for getting out of relationships like that. Where I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. I just brought up the problem. Or I could just see that the writing's on the wall, so I just say, hey, you got something to say it. I love it. I love it so much.
To end. I could just manipulate the situation. I love that. I know that's a bit messed up, but it's just kind of cool. I never had to really dump a female. It's just nice. It's a beautiful feeling knowing like, so in the grander scheme of things, if they were asked to get back together, it's like, well, I don't know how well you think this is gonna work out, but you're the one who dumped me, sweetheart. Which, by the way, out of all the females I've dated, 3 of them technically we did get back together. All 3 technically are kind of funny stories. The sex addict, she wanted to get back together, but that lasted like a week before she realized that, yeah, this isn't what I want for the second time. So Miss Darlin, who was almost 2 years, we got back together for like maybe a week or a month or something like that. Before she realized, yeah, I'm sorry, the religious difference is still bugging me mentally. I can't. So we ended up breaking up again. And then Miss freaking not have any time for me in college.
Oh, I love this.
That relationship lasted less than 24 hours when we got back together.
I love that.
Wow.
That was the most hilarious thing. She was like, I kind of missed this. You know?
I have the time, like the timestamp of when she had texted me saying that she wanted to get back together, and I said, let's talk about it. So we talked about it, we got back together, and then less than 24 hours later, she texted me saying, never mind, or let's break up. I love that so much.
You know, I'm like, miss what, chick? We weren't even together that much. We went on like 2 dates. We saw a movie together, and we spent 4th of July together. That's it. There's nothing to miss here, trust me. Like, we held hands. That's the most physical contact. And when I tried to kiss you, you say you don't do PDA, which I'm like, we hold hands. Well, no, she said she don't kiss in public, which I'm like, didn't you say I was your first boyfriend? So no, you don't kiss in public. I'm your first boyfriend. So, but me being me, I was like, okay, whatever. So then less than 24 hours after saying that she wanted to get back together, less than 24 hours the next day she broke up with me. And I thought that was hilarious. And 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. My best friend was interrupting me. So really much I'm wrapped up. I just wanted to say the outro because it's not really much more to say other than based on past relationships, they always failed. So again, this is why I should stay single because it's just a waste of my time, waste of their time, waste of my money. It's just not worth all the effort, especially when you make a lot of plans and things. But yeah, so there might be 2 extra subsections of the conversations. One me talking more about darling, and one whatever the heck the other topic was supposed to be. I completely forgot.
Crushes you, forgetful, beautiful idiots.
But anyway, if you enjoyed, I'm glad. And if the other 2 get made, I'll make a video just point out that they're existing, I guess, and maybe make a joke or 2 just so it won't be a complete waste of time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If not, oh well, that's your own fault. You didn't have to watch the same video. That was completely up to you. Free will, my friend. So peace out.
Good times. Well, that's my passion part. Check out the other parts if you haven't seen them. Or don't. It's completely up to you. Good times. Good freaking times, guys. I love it. I love it so much. And since technically all your crushes you asked out, you don't have to go into these other past relations part. But anyway, isn't that fun?
Which part?
Just videos, watching these videos saying how I was and how I thought about life and relationships.
Yeah.
We got a whole other part to do another day.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Mr. California? That's the only past relationship we didn't go into.
6 years of wasted time and barely hanging out.
Okay.
And everybody thought, no, they literally said you're not really in a relationship. Where is he? You never see him. We never see him. So he don't exist. And it got me thinking, like, in the 6 years that I've quote unquote been with this guy, I've only seen him rarely, on rare occasions. So it's like, and he keeps moving away further instead of getting closer. Red flags. But after I ended up breaking up with him, as I showed you, that whole long confession of he knew he wasn't compatible for relationships and he was all apologetic and knew he was wrong and knew what he lost. Because he admitted that I was more than likely going to dump him for you again, because I did it the first time. But he still let me go and hang out with you because you were the only one giving me attention. So things happen. I did the right thing. I broke up with California, and here we are.
All right. Do you want to talk about how your relationship started? Because I don't recall hearing that story before.
How our relationship started was, dang. Oh yeah, it was when I was, dating the pastor's kid, and then he happened to be there, and, I met his mother the same day. Mm-hmm. So we started talking just as friends at that time. And then we wanted to give it a shot. We had a mutual friend group. But after a while, it just felt like because my parents said financially you would be stable, stay with him. But eventually it came to me, the meaning of a relationship, if you don't really love the person, you can say I love you all day and night, but if you don't really mean it, it's wasting their time, it's wasting your time, and it's hurting both parties, whether they feel it or not. Mm-hmm. So, to me, being in a relationship just because it's financially stable is not a fair thing, because I'm not all about money. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have someone who is making means and wants to be there to take care of me, like you do, hence this situation, then be like, here, go buy yourself things, go buy yourself this, Oh, I'm gonna be stuck on a computer all day. Oh, I'm gonna be editing and doing all this all day, so I barely have time for you. No, I want the quality time, the physical time, and possibly go on dates. Or just genuine time. Just me and you in person, present in my life, actually. So, on those following aspects, it did not work out. And even you thought, why are y'all two both still together if you clearly have no more feelings for this guy?
Anyway, guys.
Elaborate, yeah.
I'm not elaborating. Anyway, love this little knucklehead here. Hope you enjoyed. We'll
Good
continue.
to see everyone again. Glad to be here. Always an honor.
We'll continue with some more of these as we have one more section of why I should be single or something like that. But we'll do that another day. Love you all. It's your boy BlazeNpi saying, well, UT. Here.